Welcome to Urban Fantasy PH. We are creatives who live in an urban society and give readers wish fulfillment by way of our stories, which is fantasy but reflective of reality. Here, we get to talk to fellow creatives like writers, authors, artists, comic book creators, filmmakers, you name it. We create and share our art here in the Philippines as well as abroad. My name is CJ Edmunds, I'm your host, and here is today's episode. Good morning, fellow bookworms, fellow book hoarders, book lovers, and creatives. Yes, we know who we are. Happy Wednesday. Hey, this is episode 41 of the podcast. And like always, and during an ongoing season, our show is aired every Wednesday, both for Spotify as well as on my YouTube channel. Now, you have the option to listen or to watch us. The choice, of course, I leave it in your hands. But either way, whether you watch or listen to us, do click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you do not miss a single episode, especially if a new one comes along. Okay? Now, our guest for today is a nurse, an EMT, and a stay-at-home mom. Now, she has been writing on and off since she was in high school in Dubai, and since publishing with PaperKat Books. Hi, Kat. She has been a finalist for the 5th VP Choice Awards and a nominee for the National Book Awards in the Literary Fiction Short Fiction category. She is also 1/3 of the hosts from Late Night Pub. This is another podcast that dives into writing, publishing, and everything in between. Now, does that sound like she's got a lot on her plate? Let's see what else she would like to add to her list of tasks and responsibilities, which means we need to ask her personally. Let's say hello and good morning to Miss Laura Friera Gonzales. Hello to you. Hey.
Hey. Hello, good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Top of the morning to you, Laura, and welcome to Urban Fantasy PH.
Thank you for having me.
Always welcome, always welcome. We've been bumping into each other on different book events. And most recently during the Philippine Book Fair. But let me start out with that and get your opinion on how different last year was compared to this year, with this year only, of course, being the second.
Let's see. Well, I wasn't technically published during the PBF last year, so I only went there once. I think it was the last day. It was still pretty cool. I think the booths were a little too huddled up together last year compared to this year. Plus, it's a bonus that there are a lot of food stalls this year.
Yes. As
well as chairs. There are a lot more chairs and tables for you to like rest your feet after
after
going
shopping
around.
for so many books.
Shopping.
Yeah, of course, because when you think about it, when you do buy books, you don't just buy them. You do sit down and read them, right?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I think I mostly I mean, aside from manning the PaperKat Books booth, I was pretty much at the comics section because they have a lot of cute stickers.
Okay.
Ah.
That's your kryptonite, or that's your Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Stickers.
So much stickers. It's so cute.
I agree. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned those because I've also noticed the same growth in this year's festival. Also from an exhibitor's point of view as well as a consumer. So there are more, or there were more food stalls, concessionaires. There were also more exhibitors this year, and not only that, but last year I just felt that there was way too much space that they were not utilizing. And this year they really utilized, all of the area of World Trade Center. And I don't think they even got the other hall yet. They still did not get the first
know
one.
There was another hall.
Yeah, there was another hall that was not open. Yeah. So had they opened that up, then I guess it would have been a little way too big, and we probably would feel that same as last year, that the space would be underutilized. But even so, even if there were more concessionaires this year for food as well as exhibitors, the spaces that you can walk in between the row of exhibitors was still wide enough to not feel
Exactly. It wasn't it wasn't very claustrophobic.
Yeah,
It was very, I don't know, the vibes were great.
I
Even
know.
though, it's tiring at the end of the day because you get to talk and like sell merch and books and stuff. But the vibes, the energy, the everything else was like top notch.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
book events like Philippine Book Fair and kudos to National Book Development Board, NBDB,
Yay!
as well as the Book Development Authority of the
Congratulations.
Philippines, or BDAP. Hello, Miss Army. Shout outs.
Hi.
Shout out to you guys. But you know what? As I said, book events like Philippine Book Fair, it does give me hope because it reminds me that there are still readers out there who
Yeah,
prefer the tactile sensation of having a physical
exactly.
book in their hands,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that being glued to their phones and immersing themselves in either news or the gossip of the day is not the only thing to do,
Exactly.
right? So there
A
is still
to the
hope.
men.
Yeah.
Yes.
And snap a Z.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of doing, I was wondering, is being a writer what you really sought out to do?
No.
Oh, okay.
uh, well, technically, I do love being a nurse. Like, during, like you've mentioned with
Yeah,
the
in the intro, yeah.
intro, I do love it. It's just that I guess there is this deep desire that wants to create.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like I've said, I have been writing on and off, but it's mostly like uh, open letters, free verses,
Okay.
even like snippets of like a story I could have written, but it never really crossed my mind that I want to be published one day, blah, blah, blah. Until I guess my family and my husband kind of gave me that push, that shove that's like, hey, why don't you try and get published? Maybe we can, maybe you can share it with the public and all. So I guess it started from there. And then it
Mm-hmm,
kind of
mm-hmm.
like grew, like, fanning the flames and stuff.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I'm like,
Because
oh my
once you
God.
publish one book, you know that there needs to be another one
They're
after,
like
right?
tattoos.
Yeah.
You
Good
get
thing I
one, you
don't.
have to get another one.
Yeah, good thing I don't have any yet, so I don't know.
Oh,
But if
it depends.
it depends. But if I would, I probably would have it here in my arm,
Hmm.
and it'll either be a pentagram
Oh.
or a triquetra. So either of the two.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I do have a few already, but I'm still itching to get like two or three more.
Oh no, stickers na lang mas mura pa.
But like, hindi siya, hindi siya permanent. Charot.
True, true, true. Exactly. Sadly, it's
Permanent
like
siya
that.
sa sa Tumblr.
Ah, I agree. I agree. But so yeah,
Yeah.
if in case you really want to get one, it has to be designed that you know that you're going to be comfortable
Yeah.
in getting. All right.
Yeah,
So do
exactly,
not
exactly.
get a tattoo.
Exactly.
That you might change your mind with, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
the name of somebody that you thought would be taking care of your heart, and then lo and behold, 2 years after, he becomes your ex. So what are you going to do with that name? And
That's
it's
true.
and it's
That's true.
more painful. It's more
That's
painful to
true.
take a tattoo out than to have one.
That's true. You have to make sure that whatever you put on your body, tattoo wise, it means something to you. You like it, and you're not, you know, you're very comfortable seeing it on your
Yeah,
body.
exactly. Each and every day. I guess maybe one thing is, if you do get a tattoo, get it because it's for you, not for someone
Exactly.
else, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
one thing that you really have to bear in mind.
Yes.
And I guess same thing for creating. When you do write a book, when you write a song or whatever, it's really great that if you come from that space of, I want to create because it's me, because
It's
I
me.
am a creative
Exactly.
and I am a creative person,
Uh huh.
and I get fulfillment from doing this, not because I'm making you happy. If it does make you happy, that's a
Exactly.
bonus, but it has to
Mm-hmm.
make me happy first,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So we mentioned in the intro that you are a nurse as well as an EMT, and I'm just curious, can you take us back to the days when you were starting out as a nurse? Now, while this question may be obvious, since you immerse yourself in medical books, one after the other. But how about fiction? Did that perhaps play a part in you becoming a better nurse?
I think if anything, it gave me more of a sense, I guess, on how to gauge other people, how to relate to them more a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then technically, I do use reading as an escape.
Sure,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, whenever I feel stressed or what, I just put down whatever it is and then pick up a book.
And I was more like, this patient is driving me up the wall. She doesn't want to take her medicine. What's going on?
I legally I cannot force a medication upon a patient. I'm gonna get
Lunukin mo yan. Pag hindi, uubusin ko ang kanbo.
oh my god, no, just those were like
Kidding.
dark days when like for example a woman is giving birth and then the midwife is like a very um stern scary woman that's like stop screaming, it's not gonna
scarier than
help.
scarier than you.
I swear that those were the scary days. Those are the scary
Yeah,
days.
but we don't
We're
want to go back
trying.
to that.
We're trying, I guess. I think. I mean, I'm not practicing right now, but I
Mhm.
think I can see a more gentler approach to patients, clients rather.
Mhm.
There are those. I guess providers that are still kind of like holding on to the old practices of kind of
Mhm.
like scaring people into like um cooperating, but
Yeah.
we try not
Uh,
to.
yeah, we try not to do
We
that.
try not to.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you
yeah.
want them to
Uh,
come back whenever they need you.
yeah, exactly. You want to be known for something, not for scaring them off. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
interesting that you mentioned there that you said clients instead of patients.
Oh,
Is that some sort of conditioning earlier on, from a nurse's point of view, that
a little
you don't look to
bit.
them as
A little
patients
bit,
or
yeah,
clients.
a little bit because there is I I don't want to say stigma, but there is a thinking, I guess, that when you say patients,
Hmm.
it means that you are already sick. But
Okay.
you know, not everyone who goes to the hospital or to the clinic are sick basically. Sometimes people just go there for like your daily checkup or like weekly checkup or something. So we our instructors before tend to um correct us that clients, I guess, would be a better term for
Hmm.
them, since not everyone again is sick.
Right, right. And it
Yeah.
does sort of like, I guess, maybe put you in this headspace, and in a more professional headspace, that when you say client, of course you have to present yourself in such a manner, and you have to
Yeah.
talk in such a manner that befits a professional person,
Yes,
within
exactly.
the scope of the job. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Generally, we know what a nurse is and the scope of the work involved, but for those who are not in the know, what exactly is EMT, and
Oh.
how different is that work wise from what's required of you to being a nurse?
Okay, an EMT or an emergency medical technician is technically what you see inside the ambulances.
Okay.
We are the ones who are going to be with you or with the patients for transport to or from a hospital.
All right.
Um, it's different here in the Philippines because technically I'm not particularly sure. Um, they I think they have a different training for EMTs here
Mm-hmm.
because I was trained in the States, so it's different over there.
Okay.
Um, but as far as I know, you EMTs can still provide like your basic life support or BLS. But medication wise, I don't think we are allowed to give it out because
Mm-hmm.
technically you are outside the hospital, unless, of course, emergency demands it. Or
Okay. So, from what I understand from what you just said, if you're an EMT, your workspace is mostly just confined within the
within
ambulance.
the ambulance,
Okay.
within
So,
the ambulance, or I guess let's say for example, an unconscious person on a sidewalk, the sidewalk basically,
hmm,
maybe like a arm space of like of
yeah,
you on, that's your immediate workspace technically,
workspace. Okay.
until you bring them into the ambulance and then
And
going
then
to
if you
wherever.
transport from the ambulance to the ER, as
Mhm.
an EMT, you're not required to help out in the ER anymore. Within,
um well, technically, it depends, but you
again,
do
yeah,
have to kind of like coordinate with the hospital where you're bringing your patient. You can't just, you know, pop in and say, "Hey,
yeah.
we're gonna drop this one off. Peace out." No,
Mhm.
you can't. You have to coordinate, because you have to make sure that the hospital where you're bringing your patient or your client is well equipped to receive the patient. Because
Okay.
if you just drop them off there, people can sue you for abandonment. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing. So yeah.
That's the same for here and for there. The
Yes, yes. I think it goes to for everywhere, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But if the patient is busy, or if the EMT is busy at the back, trying to, let's say, keep the patient or the client in a stable condition, the calling of or the call made to the hospital where you need to deliver the patient falls onto the driver or the one beside it.
Well, technically, I'm not sure, but I think what I can see here is you have two EMTs
Okay.
in an ambulance and a driver.
All right.
Ideally, that's how it should be as well.
Mhm.
Um, the endorsing or the coordination will fall onto the second EMT, not the driver,
Okay. Not the
because the
driver. Yeah.
driver has to focus on the road.
On the road. Right. Okay.
So the second EMT has to coordinate while the other one is at the back tending to the patient.
To the patient.
Yeah.
All right. That's another episode of ER.
Welcome to Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. Well, then I'm dating myself by saying ER, not Grey's Anatomy. So
Yeah, it's fine.
that's
It's
fine.
fine.
That's fine. When it was on, everybody just got stuck to their TV screen because of George Clooney and Noah Wiley,
To be completely honest,
as well as
I
Julianne
don't watch
Margulies.
Grey's Anatomy actually.
Too stressful.
I I I don't know. I think I like what was that? New Hampshire, was it?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's another one, New
I
Hampshire.
I
Yeah.
think I think I like that one better. No, sorry, New Amsterdam.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I like that one better
No, better.
than
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy.
Let
No
less.
offense to all of
No.
you Grey's fans. Don't sue me.
Yeah, there are a lot of Grey's Anatomy fans right there.
Because
I
it's
I
been
know this.
around for so
It's been a
long.
while for so long. Wait, has this? You know what? I kind of like out of the. I'm not in the loop anymore. But has the show ended? Because the last time I checked, they seem to still be going on, right?
They're still going on. I think they just uh not really just, but they did kill off Patrick Dempsey's character, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
McDreamy. They killed off
yeah.
McDreamy, and then
But
they
I
left
think
with
they're still
SteamYard.
going on. Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, it's
They
it's
have
an
new characters as usual.
a never-ending soap opera, right? Never-ending
I
soap.
mean, yeah,
It's literally that.
that's
Oh
true.
well, soap or no soap, as long as you pull in viewers and the numbers, and you're good to go. And that's their job. But your job, or any other job that is, has their share of perks and horror stories. I was wondering, with what we sort of like, what you sort of like shared today with regards to being an EMT and a nurse, would you perhaps consider writing about it in the future? I mean, I'm sure a lot of readers would find that interesting.
Oh God. Um, That I'm not sure. Although you are not the first to ask me if I
Mm-hmm.
would write something medically inclined. Um, I don't know because I don't really have a lot of like experience on it so far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know how if I turn it into like a nonfiction writing thing. I'm not sure if I can do that justice.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Mm-hmm.
turn it into fiction, however, I don't know either.
Maybe not a complete storyline focus there, but maybe someone who works there. I don't know. I mean, I wonder what title
Probably
would you give it? Maybe a name of a series like ER Hearts or whatever. I don't know.
toxic.
Toxicity.
Mom toxic.
Yep, yep, yep. I
we
remember
do
that.
we do have this ongoing not really ritual, but it's more of like a saying, I guess, in the hospital in general, that when you say the B word, which is benign,
Mm.
you are gonna get hounded by a lot of patients afterwards.
Ah, okay.
So it's like, ah, you guys are bored. You guys are
Mm.
quiet. Okay, let's bring in everywhere. It's like,
Oh boy. I learned about the word toxic within the medical, when
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was, you know, dating someone in the medical profession. But
Oh,
wait,
interesting.
was that dating? I don't think it was considered dating because we just, never mind. I better shut up now.
Situationship.
Yep, yep. Better shut up. I don't want to get sued. Hope the person's not watching.
No. All right, going back.
Okay, erase, erase, erase. So, how about in your family? Segue agad. Shut up.
Seriously.
How about in your family? Are there any, I don't know, members or of your family who are voracious readers, and perhaps they equally influenced or fuel your love for books?
Um, I think my mom.
Okay.
Um, she has been reading pocketbooks since I was a kid, but I think until around when my third sister, the
Hmm.
youngest one, was born, I think she kind of like put the reading aside. But I can see the books, so I'm
Okay.
like, okay, what's this about and stuff. But at that point, it wasn't for children.
Ooh.
Not necessarily for children yet,
Right,
I
right.
guess.
I don't
So
know.
yeah.
Harlequin romances for children? I don't know what it is.
No, like I've said, I've mentioned this to Pam before. My mom had those Jude Devereaux, excuse me,
Yes, Jude
Jude
Devereux,
Devereaux books.
my
Sorry,
cousin and my aunt reads those things. Like,
yeah, those. So I was like, I get curious on like, oh, what's this one about? Okay, she told me not to. Okay, so and then we had this one big. It was a big ass Bible esque looking book of like Grimm's fairy tales, I think.
okay.
It kind of scarred me a little bit because once I opened it, it was a full page of like the Beast,
A
but like
Wendigo.
no, a beast, like when
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast,
Okay,
like the
okay.
beast itself. It's like a full on page of just his face, full frontal view and stuff. I'm like, I'm scared.
That's
Kasi
like
it's not your typical Disney
exactly,
um
exactly.
um animation, I guess, or art style.
Yeah, the way
So it's
it's
like,
more
oh my god.
feral.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay,
It's more
bye.
feral up there, and it's also probably more feral down there. I don't know.
I don't want to think about it. No, I don't want to think about it. I refuse to think about it.
Feral with a capital F.
Feral.
That's the real what the F.
Capital F
Oh
with a
gosh,
lot of
the things
R's.
that we get to, the things that we read whenever we're kids. But well,
That's
it's
true.
nice that would your mom still have that book somewhere, or do you still have that book
I
somewhere? I don't
honestly
know.
don't remember.
Mm,
We keep a lot of our old stuff up there, but
in the
I don't
attic.
know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Uh,
That'd be great. That'd be great if
I,
when you discover that one of these days, you're like, oh, this
yeah,
is where
because as
you've
far
been
as I
hiding.
know, my books are the ones that are up there, but I don't know, man. I
Well, do
am
share it on
not.
social media when you do find it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the big ass Bible esque book I was talking about.
Yes. This is all about the F.
Because I swear it's so. That book was so thick. It was. I think thinking about it right now, I think it kind of it would the size of it would look like that those Bibles they carry during masses,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
the big ones. I
yeah.
think it's like that almost,
In
and
short, it's a
slightly,
tome
yeah, and slightly thicker. I'm like, it's
and leather bound.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
hardbound
yeah,
too.
leather bound with great, great binding. Oh
Exactly.
well, I will be waiting for it with
Let's see if
bated
I can
breath on
find it.
social media if you can find it. Yeah, and that will be your caption. What the f?
What the
Uh,
F?
well, you know what? Naturally, authors start out as readers, and
Yes.
I don't know if the question has anything to do with the Grimm book, but nonetheless, is there a specific book or books that made you want to create a world of your own?
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be like a very millennial pop culture answer, but the Twilight Saga, actually.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah. I finished it. When I think I was junior in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess I kind of dabbled into like alternate endings for it, like, oh, what if Bella ends up with Jacob, blah 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 blah. And I didn't really finish it, but
What?
it did.
Why?
I don't know. I guess in my head I'm like, there is no way in hell, I guess, that Bella's gonna up and leave Edward for Jacob. But I don't know. But it did inspire me to like start writing. Uh, again, on and off. Um, yeah. Other than that,
It's mostly that. Well,
it's mostly that.
but you did at least you did get to finish the movie.
I did. I
You
did the
did.
books
Okay.
and the movies. Yeah.
Yes, eventually, the books and the movie. I discovered that when, well, since I love vampires and anything that's vampire, I'll
Mhm.
go towards it. I'm like a moth to flame with regards to vampires.
Mhm.
Thank you, Anne Rice, for that. But yeah, when everyone told what I saw in the reviews that, oh, this is great, Twilight is like Anne Rice light. I was like, oh, okay, that got me thinking. Right, and then when I read it, this is my what the f. This what the f is this?
I get it. I do get it. I
Uh,
do get it. I do understand that it's not for
it's like
everyone.
no, it's not that. I mean, it took me a while. It took me a while to appreciate
Mm.
what Stephanie Meyer was trying to do. So in my headspace. I was thinking like, okay, younger characters, but please give them some sort of existential crisis and asking about what's their place in the world, something like that, because
Yeah.
that's what Anne Rice vampires do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when the reviews call it Anne Rice Light, I was expecting it would be something like that, but
Uh-huh.
it was totally YA. So I wasn't really prepared for YA, and I figured, all right. I finished book one, and I put it down, and then everyone's saying, oh, but you have to read further, and book three is coming out. It's like, okay, I'll try book two.
Do
It's
I
only
have to?
it's only up until book two did I realize that, okay, she's doing something here. That that she gave Bella a little bit more angst. She gave Bella a
Yeah. Yeah.
little bit more
Def, I guess.
questions to throw out
Yeah.
into the world and what's her place in the world and all that.
Yeah.
So that's when I sort of like appreciated what she was trying to do. So she was sort of like slowly leveling up her world as the books
Mm-hmm.
progressed. By the time I reached book three, I was like, I understand what you're doing now, and I love the research. I love how how the characters are presented, and that's the same thing that uh, I got to talk to when I that was what back in wait that was 2000,
When was it?
was it 2000
2000.
something, but I was on a trip with family in Hawaii, and I would see kids, lugging around Twilight books, and sometimes, the moms would just lean over and say, oh, she doesn't go home without it. And I did say that one thing I liked about the Twilight books is that it made people want to read again.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If anything, she gave people something to get out of that rut, that
Yeah,
reading rut, and then discover more books and stuff, which is great.
yeah,
For
which is
me,
great. I don't know about her other books. I haven't really. Well, I read The Host, which is
I've
okay.
yeah. I wait. Have I read The Host? No, I think I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've tried both. Obviously, the book is still, better than the film. I've yet to read The Chemist. That's her first
Oh yeah. No, I
suspense
haven't.
thriller. So it's
Yeah.
there in, on top of the shelf
It's in your
collection.
bookseller.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's there. It's part of my. It's down there in my TBR pile. But at least it's there. It will be read one of these days. I just don't know when. So,
I get
can't
it. I
ask
get
me.
it. I
But
get it.
speaking of the world that you would love to create, I'm glad that you have successfully created one with your first book, which is entitled At Last. So there it is. So congrats, congrats. For those who have yet to read it and those who have not yet read it, what is wrong with you? But
I love the vote of confidence in that.
there, there must be some chromosomes missing in your gene structure.
Damn, girl.
But can you give our listeners and viewers a non-spoiler pitch?
Oh my god, a non-spoiler pitch.
Because we hate spoilers.
Non-spoiler pitch. Describe your book badly. Well, At Last is technically about this immortal man that is tasked by the gods to run the circuit of the earth for all eternity. Come present day, he meets a spitting image of his long lost love. What happens next? Well, check out At Last to find out more.
There you go. All right, all right. I like it. I like it. That works for me. That works for me. One thing I liked about the book is that you purposely did not set it in one specific city,
Yeah.
and you left that to the reader to imagine. So I was
Yeah.
wondering, can you tell us why you chose that route, and were you actually maybe considering a particular city to set it in when you're
Okay.
writing it?
Um, for some reason, I think like just right now, the city that kind of popped into my head is Chicago for some reason.
Hmm.
But technically, I did leave out the actual setting for the book because I'm not a well traveled person.
Okay.
And so I think I would not do it justice if I set the story in a specific place that I haven't really gone to or lived at
For a time. Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
lived that period.
Hmm.
So I think I think that's one of the reasons why I left out the actual setting of the story, and then just kind of like um, set the tone, the ambience, the trees, the wind, the buildings, and all, and then just leave it up to the readers on like, oh, where do you think uh they are, or where do you think this is happening? Because like Joshua Jorge, another PaperKat Books author, by the way.
Yo, Joshua.
um what's up, Joshua? When he read it, he told me that he wasn't really, I guess, comfortable at first, when because the setting wasn't really pinpointed. But then as he went on reading, he started to imagine himself and the characters somewhere in Canada, like a small city, a small town in
Mm,
Canada. So I'm
okay.
like,
All right. All right.
wow, okay, I've never been to Canada, but if it brought you there,
Why not? Why not? Yeah. Well, that's I get where you're coming from with that, but it one thing that it does that it does free you for one thing the responsibility of having to specify
specify.
a
Yeah,
particular city, a particular street, a particular restaurant, a corner of
yeah,
this and that,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and it also frees up the reader to place themselves into a city of their choice.
exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah.
what for me when I was reading it, it was either I was seeing brownstones in
Mm-hmm.
New York, maybe
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, and a little bit of uh, uh, maybe a little bit of maybe I haven't been to Philadelphia or I haven't been to Chicago. Well, Chicago, yes, but it's basically those little towns that have
Yeah.
buildings that are close to one another with
Uh-huh.
great
Yeah.
with big parks,
Yeah.
and almost everything is within range of walking distance, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Exactly.
a small New England town. It could be that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one I liked about the choice that you made
Thank you.
for that particular writing. And also, when you're writing, do you sometimes feel there are certain things in the story that the reader should know, but not telling them means you're holding out on them because it's always a balance for us,
Mm-hmm.
writers, for us
Yeah.
creatives.
Yeah.
That you have to figure out how much to tell them and how
And how
much you
much
should
to?
leave for
Yeah.
them to imagine.
Yeah.
So maybe like let's say for the kind of outfit that your character wears in a scene, maybe must you drop or name drop a particular kind of shoe? Must you
Oh.
mention a specific kind of car? Or must you
uh,
mention a name of a restaurant or a coffee shop that they go to? So, how do you
for
decide when to specify and when to make it generic?
for me, I think generic is key, but
Okay,
for example, if you know Melissa de la Cruz, her book series Blue Bloods,
Blue Blood,
technically it's also about
vampires
teenage vampires,
in
but
Manhattan,
in
bratty
Manhattan,
ones.
bratty ones. So it's like Gossip Girl ex vampire. So you kind of had to name drop brands and stuff because
Mm-hmm.
they're socialites and all.
Yeah.
But at least for my story, I don't think I have to name drop brands or anything. It's just like, oh, he's wearing a white shirt, that's it. Oh, it's tattered. Oh, there are paint stains on his pants, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if the story itself does not demand you to name drop a specific brand, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you should.
Okay.
But you know, again, it's up to you. It's
Right,
just
right.
yeah,
Or maybe if your character is a brand conscious character, then
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
yes, that's when you
exactly,
really
yeah,
should.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, just make sure that the spelling is right. That Prada is Prada and not Prado or something like
Prada.
that. Yeah, knockoff. As mentioned in Sex and the City, which got me laughing. Uh, so Alex says in the book that art cannot be
Mhm.
rushed. I so can
Yes.
relate, but how much do you think of that is true? Because some people can work with a deadline and others
Mhm.
cannot.
I think that's just me putting myself in Alex's shoes, that
Okay.
saying art should not be rushed. Um because when I write, I think I am a very chaotic, obsessive writer. So
I
I
think we
don't
all are.
I don't have like a specific like writing schedule or something. If I am in the mood to write, then I will write. If I
Okay.
don't have the headspace or I'm not in the right mood, I don't force myself to
Mm,
write because I
all
just
right.
know that what's gonna come out of my head is, oh shit. So yeah, I don't
We're not
force
gonna
it.
bleep that because
No, no, no,
we allow our guests to curse and do all sorts of things that they want to on the show. So if you want,
freedom.
yes, freedom. Yes, Aretha and George Michael sang about it, so that's what the show is all about. It's freedom. So if you want to
Yeah,
cuss, go ahead. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I will not pardon your French. I will let the French pardon your French if you're not saying it right. Okay, so yeah,
But yeah,
to each his own. Whether you want
yeah,
to work with the deadline or not, as long as you churn the words out, then
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
most important thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
Another thing I enjoyed was you were giving us two viewpoints as the book progresses. We both get what Lily is feeling, and then in another chapter we get Alex's POV. So, did you ever consider just one POV, and did
I
it make it
did.
easier for you to write and acquaint yourself with the characters because we see the story through both of their
Yeah,
lenses?
yeah. I actually did consider having it written in just Lily's point of view, but
It's gonna be
if
all
I
Bella.
if the thing is, if I did, it's gonna be shorter than it already is, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Plus, I wanted to give the readers a sense of, I want them to know Alex as well, not just Lily, not just Vera or anything. I want them to get to know them both. Like
Okay.
the side of you being the spitting image, and then you being that one being who have seen centuries upon centuries of whatever it is humans do. So yeah.
Okay. For fellow writers out there who are thinking of doing just that, write from two POVs, or you want to do it the George R. R. Martin way, numerous POVs. Any tips or reminders that writers should be mindful of when you're doing more than one POV?
um I think you guys should know your character well, know your
Mm,
characters well, because you can't necessarily mix the way of thinking of one character and then you put it in another character, because that's just going to create confusion and all. So know your characters, try to not really embody your characters, but more of like, ask yourself, what if you are this specific character, what would
mhm.
you think about it and
Okay.
stuff. So I think that's the best advice I can give out.
Well, true. I agree. You really need to get to know your character.
Yeah.
One tip I heard from a different podcast, and they said that in order to make your characters feel real, not just to you as a writer, but maybe also to the readers, is to give them a birthday.
Oh shoot, I did not do that though. I didn't. I think what I did was more of like technically Lily is a little bit more of a skeptic than
Mm,
Alex is. Alex is a little bit more of a faith kind of person, because well, he has already met one of them technically.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
So
he's
yeah,
more fatalistic than Lily. Lily's more
yeah,
grounded. She's
exactly.
more, in short.
Yeah.
Alex is more up in the clouds, and Lily's just, I need to do
Yeah,
this
yeah,
now. I have a
exactly.
deadline. I work as a publishing assistant. I know what deadlines are, so stop talking to me and just give
Exactly.
me my coffee.
Give me my damn coffee.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Well, you did answer this one question towards the end of the book, wherein one of the deities responsible for what's going on is not named, and you love everything mythology. So I don't know, has your answer changed since then? I mean,
Um,
would you more or less know which goddess this was now?
if anything, if anything, I would have to say, I mean, this is purely like Greek mythology. If you have uh heard or watched Late Night Pub, I have mentioned that I am a slut for Greek mythology. So, if anything, the unnamed goddess in Atlas would probably be Hera.
Mm.
or not really Athena. It's
Okay.
either Hera or some minor goddess.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Maybe Hestia.
could be, could
Yeah,
be.
yeah. So definitely not Annabelle Chase, Annabeth's mother.
Not Annabeth's mom. I'm so sorry, Athena. No, but
Sorry,
no,
Sorry, Percy Jackson fans.
and
she,
no. I
yeah,
mean, I like her, but I'm not writing a war. I didn't write a
yeah.
war,
No
so
need
I.
to. No need to do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm,
Oh
mm-mm.
boy, we're we're nearing the end of our talk, but I'd like to throw you some craft questions before we
Oh
wrap
God.
things up. Yeah, I was wondering, how do you handle writer's block, or do you have any? Any tips?
Any tips for writer's block? Don't fight it. I think
Okay.
if if you hit a writer's block, it just means that you're probably tired
Mm-hmm.
and you just need maybe a few hours to kind of just rest your brain so your brain can still churn out those juicy words and sceneries and stuff. Um, Reading can also help.
Yeah.
Eating, you
Mm-hmm.
need,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
have to eat. Your
Eating.
brain needs the sugar to work. So
Exactly.
yeah. But
Wait.
as
You
for
may.
me,
Okay.
I haven't. I'm. I haven't really written anything in like a month.
That's okay. That's okay. Not all writers write every day.
Yes,
Okay.
that is
So
okay.
it's not a, it's not a cardinal crime not being,
Yes,
being
exactly.
able to write. But
Go your own pace.
it does gnaw at you when you're
Yeah,
not writing,
that's true.
right? So, one of these days, we also really need to give into it, even if it's just like, 500 words a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
of
pretty
course.
much okay. Wait, you mentioned something about eating. So is there anything that you need to have with you when you write or when you edit? Yeah.
Personally,
Apart from coffee, yeah.
oh damn. Personally,
And if we must name drop brands, then why not?
I don't know, cause it's mostly just coffee, but the blood of virgins. No, kidding. No,
If you can get your hands on numerous ones, and
no, I think
let me know,
Oreos.
because
I
Beelzebub's
guess.
keep asking me about those, and I can't give an
Uh,
answer.
I I need help with my manuscript.
I need someone to edit for me, please.
Please, I'm so tired. No, if anything, maybe Oreos. I'm not sure,
Oreos,
but maybe
okay,
Oreos.
Oreos.
Yeah,
Okay,
I love
Oreos.
those.
All right. Oreo, shall we tag Oreo in this video, in this podcast? Maybe we should, right?
Maybe, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Why
not.
not? Why not? For me, editing and writing, I need to have Cheetos,
Oh,
and I
Cheetos.
need to have butter cookies with me. Not just any
But
kind. It has to be MY San. So
akala ko yung nasa tin. The one that,
um,
that you make
yeah,
into a
the Danish
sewing tin.
ones. Yeah, the Danish ones. I'm good with the Danish ones. But if they're a little, well, that they're pricey because you pay for the
That's,
tin.
that's true.
Local wise, and since I support, local, I'm good with
Yes.
MY San.
MY San
Yeah,
is the way.
yeah, the yellow one.
Bigay
Eh,
naman, MY
oo, pwede mo,
San.
MY San, sige na. Pwede mo lagyan ng spaghetti yung pag natapos ka eh. Para pamigay sa kapitbahay pag marami. What am I saying? This is bad. Oh
We
boy.
just went on and
I
on.
know. Are these serious questions? Are people going to take me seriously with the questions that I throw now after that?
We're
Anyway,
promise we're very serious
we're
authors.
very serious
We're
people.
we're just very I don't know, caffeinated.
Yeah, probably. Bato.
I know I am.
I was prior to starting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. What's the biggest lesson or wake up call that you have learned? There you go. We're going back to being serious now. The biggest lesson or wake up call that you have learned in being a creative that has sort of like become a life lesson to you, and you would gladly impart on other aspiring
Mm.
creatives.
Well, you are not everyone's cup of tea. Period.
Okay. All right.
So, you have to make sure that whatever you create, whatever you write, whatever you draw or put out creatively, you have to make sure that it sparks something in you. So, what do they call it? Sparks joy in you, not
Mm-hmm.
just you're not just publishing, or you're not just drawing, or you're not just singing for like, oh, because it gives me money, it gives me fame or whatever. You have to make sure that it gives you joy,
Okay.
it gives you what do you call this, it feeds your soul basically,
Mm.
if anything. So you have to understand that you will not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay, because as long as you love what you put out, that's already a success to you, and congratulations.
All right, all right. I like that. And you're not everyone's cup of tea. And if you don't like my tea, all you got to do is just spill it, and then let's
If you
talk.
don't like my tea, well then you have, hindi maganda yung taste mo. Charot.
Change your taste buds. All right.
Your
Um,
loss.
yeah, true, true. Outliner or pantser? Ah,
Oh my
ah.
god, I am a chaotic plantser.
Okay. Yes,
Planters.
planters unite. Yes, that's the we're mutants,
We're mutants.
mutant proud.
They can cure us.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
but just in case, for those who are not exactly sure what the terminology suggests, outliners are basically writers who work within a specific outline. They plot everything out from scenery to character development and all per chapter. And pantsers are
Mhm.
basically writers who just, free flow. Whatever,
Yeah.
wherever the mood strikes me today, that's where I will
Hmm.
go, because we write, from by the seat of our pants. So, and if you're
Exactly.
if you're a pantser, then you basically just do both, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. But
Well,
what if you're
yeah.
someone who writes naked and without pants? So what do you call that? So I don't know.
Lady
Pampless?
whistle down.
No, pwede or pantless. I am incorrigible, I swear.
God.
And it's only the morning. What's going on?
Oh my
Um,
god.
any specific time of day for you when you
Oh,
write?
uh, damn. Technically, I've written at last while my kid was at school, so that was
Okay,
around the morning. But right now, I think sometime around like 10ish to 2 a.m.
10 to 2. Okay, yeah,
But
whenever when the kids are asleep.
But then again, since I am a very chaotic planter, so whenever the mood strikes, whenever like I get hit by, oh, I gotta write this down. Okay, I have to sit down and write.
Okay, all right. In
See,
short,
chaotic.
free flowing whenever the mood strikes you. So that's the
I'm a
best
hippie.
time. So you're a hippie, exactly. Minus the long hair and the braids and and all other accoutrements of hippiness.
Very, very, what do you call it?
Flower
Stereotype.
power, stereotype flower
Stereotype
power
flower
60s
child.
children.
I know.
Oh boy. Wait, what are you currently working on? There you
Oh
go.
God, I am
Because
rewriting it.
I saw a
Um,
little preview at the end of the book. So is this what we're going to be expecting next?
The Phoenix Switch. Yes,
Yes.
hopefully that's the one that is next. I am currently rewriting the whole thing because the story went out of hand.
Aha.
So I gotta reel it in a little bit. So yeah,
Would this be sort of like high fantasy from the way the prologue goes?
no, it's not high fantasy, but I'm hoping, I guess, or I'm targeting for it to be like a YA type fantasy kind
YA
of.
fantasy. Okay, good,
Yeah,
good, good.
but
YA
yeah,
is here to stay anyway. So yeah,
for the YAs and the YAs at heart.
there you go. Yeah, there's also new A or
New
NA, the new adult. Yeah, for those who
for
are
all you people who love reading, period,
yeah.
regardless of what you're reading.
All right. I will not ask when you expect this to come out, but
Please don't.
yeah, know that this. Please don't. But know that this is. I know the feeling. But know that this is there in the works, and
Yeah, it
and
is in
it
the
will be
works.
out when it gets out there. Okay,
Yes, exactly.
that's taking you off the hook. So there's no timeline for that. So it will be
Uh-huh.
out when it's out. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But for what is already out, where can they get copies of this one?
Hey, okay. At last is still in selected fully booked branches. I believe Eastwood still has copies, Podium as well, and UP Town Center I think still has copies. If they do not, however, do not fret because it is at Lazada, PaperKat Books Lazada page.
All
Yeah.
right, PaperKat Books, Lazada page is the best place
Exactly.
to go to. Yeah.
Yes.
If the heat is just getting too much for you and
Hmm.
you can't walk to the nearest bookstore, then yes,
Have
order
it
it
delivered.
online. Yes, available na po sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Yeah. Viewers discretion advised. Charot.
Yes, exactly. Ang atlas ay hindi po gabot at hindi po pwede
If symptoms persist,
persist.
contact your doctor.
Consult your author. Or better yet, if symptoms persist after reading this, then let it persist.
Let it persist.
Yes, do not resist and contact the author of book two.
Yes.
All right, where can they know more about you and your work? And if they want to bug you on social media,
All right. If you want to bug me or like fangirl, or we can just send each other memes, you can follow me at
and bitch
Instagram.
about Twilight.
Exactly. You can follow me on Instagram at Laura Tries to Write. I am also on Facebook, Laura Friera Gonzales. Should I plug LNP here too?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are
Yeah.
also I am also one third of the hosts of Late Night Pub, where we talk about writing, publishing, and everything in between. Usually, we put out an episode every Saturdays at 6 p.m., but we might change that soon. So, yeah, we are available on Spotify and YouTube.
All right, awesome. I will put all of these details on the show notes so that people can just
Yes.
click if they want to,
Yeah.
check out and bug you. Well, that
And
is it. Yes, yes, and bug you and ask you for God knows whatever other details that we have not covered, in the book.
anong brand yung sapatos ni Lily?
Ayan, ayan, di ba? Yeah. Does Lily wear flats or mid-size heels or something like that? Is Alex more of a brief or boxer guy?
Oh my god.
Uh,
What kind of paints does he use?
yeah, exactly. Are they environment friendly or the kind of brush? Ano ba yan? Point 9, 1.2 or whatever. I don't know. Sukat ng
Basta yung
brush.
makapal.
Yeah. And yun lang. Ano to, pampintura ng gate?
Yung roller yung gamit
Roller.
niya.
What other painting style does Alex go about? Is he more impressionist or is he a pointillist or I don't know. Let's see what other questions.
Anong coffee beans yung gamit ni Aaron?
Oh yeah, coffee beans exactly. Yes. and
Arabica.
Arabica.
Marathi.
And will Aaron get a second chance at love? Yeah.
Tingnan natin. I
Shall we give Aaron another,
I will not confirm nor deny.
nor deny? Okay. Will we make Aaron a little bit more woke and he starts questioning his sexuality and and look for
I
fun
will not
elsewhere
confirm
apart
nor
from the coffee
deny.
shop? Does the coffee shop have a back room? Oh.
Anong coffee shop yung
Yeah, what's the name of the coffee shop?
yun
Yeah,
talaga eh.
exactly. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, to know more answers to these questions, of course, apart from you need to read the book and follow Laura on social media. All right. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining us today on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
We wish you all the best in your future writing endeavors.
Thank you.
And may you
Same to
always be
you.
given, thank you, may you always be given the chance to impart your experience and your wisdom and your zaniness to
Oh my
all
god.
other rising creatives out there. Thank you to Spine Books for your support since day one, and to our new friends over at Nerd Nibbles, of which you can follow them on Instagram, especially if you like mushroom flavored chips. And if you are a creative and you'd like to be featured in the podcast, just drop us an email. That's urbanfantasyph@gmail.com. If you want to get a copy of my stuff, that's Sojourn and Take Me Now, you can visit the Spine Book Shopee page or just go to cjedmunds.com. So till the next episode, everybody enjoy the rest of the week. See you in the next one. Indie Creatives Unite. Keep reading and keep creating, and we will do our best to keep talking about it. So stay safe, stay creative.
Yeah.
Namaste, blessed be. Bye.
Namaste. Bye, y'all.
That was another episode of Urban Fantasy PH. Join us next time as we feature another creative soul who wants their art to be seen, heard, and shared. If you have your own work to share, just email us at urbanfantasyph@gmail.com. Till the next episode, this is independent author, singer-songwriter, radio personality, voice actor, and fellow creative, CJ Edmunds, reminding you to always listen to your heart, create with your mind, and share with your soul. Goodbye, everybody. Namaste. Blessed be.